up? It is Marissa Nicole here, and welcome back to my channel. I'm sure you're wondering why I'm sitting in my car, and I have a good reason for that, I swear. So today is actually Alpha Omicron Pi, my sorority's 25th anniversary of being a chapter here on Ohio State University's campus. So we're having a huge 25th anniversary event at the house. It's gonna be starting in like 2 hours-ish, so I'm about to start getting ready. But before that, I needed to film this video for y'all because it is Sunday, and like I mentioned last Sunday, every Sunday for the rest of the year is gonna be a new sorority kind of video for y'all because in January is when we start recruiting. A lot of Southern schools will recruit in the fall, even before you get to school or start school. We don't recruit until spring semester, and so with recruitment coming up, we've been very big on getting ready for that. And so this is kind of my way to get ready, but also a way to help y'all just in case any of y'all are gonna be recruiting, or if you're going to be rushing next semester, or even if you're planning on rushing next year, all of these tips can still help. So for every Sunday the rest of the year, I'm gonna be giving you a new sorority video, and this Sunday is no different, even though I have to film in my car. I'm only filming in my car because my roommates are all upstairs getting ready, and we have like crafts outside, we have the whole house is decorated, and I can't really film anywhere else because people are just around getting ready and setting up the house, and we're getting all of our food catered and all that. So it's very hectic in there, so I just thought I'd come out here to my car where it's nice and quiet and I'd be able to film a video for y'all. Also, in last week's video, I did mention if y'all have any questions throughout these videos, comment them down below because I will be answering them in the next video. And one question that I got last week was, what do sororities do? And I could definitely make a whole video on that question alone, but basically a sorority is just a group of people who either live together or don't live together, but there's usually a chapter house. You meet once a week at chapter. You have mandatory and non-mandatory events. Some are socials and fun things like parties. Others are philanthropy events where you're raising money for your said philanthropy. Every sorority has a different philanthropy. Typically, looking back in history, it was a group of girls who really just wanted their own place, wanted to be part of something bigger than just themselves, to create a community for themselves, and also to help raise money for something, again, bigger than themselves, so a philanthropy. And that's what we have today. Of course, it's very different than when it first originated back in the day, but I hope that quick explanation answers that for you, whoever left that comment. Again, throughout this video, if you have any questions, let me know down below and I'll answer them next week. Obviously, from the title of this video, you can tell that this video particularly is gonna be, what do you gain from being in a sorority? So, like, why join a sorority, basically? Like, what are you gonna get from being in a sorority? And I just kind of want to answer those in some quick little bullet points of some key highlights of being in a sorority and why it's so great. I know I did a Let's Talk Tuesday about it a while ago of like why I love my sorority and why you should join one. This one's gonna be, of course, kind of funny, but actually practical as well. That way you see some things that you're gonna be getting from being in a sorority. Okay, so the first couple are definitely more on the funny side, but they're still true. And as soon as you join a sorority, this was true for me. Literally the day that I accepted my bid, I gained like 100+ new followers on all of my social medias and a whole bunch of likes on all of my pictures. And I know that's not like a big deal. It's definitely not why I joined it, but that is something that you should look forward to because all of your sisters do follow you and we like to hype each other up, and you're just there for each other. You're commenting on their pictures, you're liking their pictures, you're a part of their pictures now. And it's just, again, it's a cool community thing that you get to be a part of. With stepping your social media game up, you also get to gain like a new wardrobe and aesthetic. This is also kind of one of those stereotypical things about sororities, but we tend to all look the same apparently. I personally don't think so, but there are some staple things that I do see that sorority girls usually wear or have, that's a part of their wardrobe or their aesthetic kind of thing. That could be anything from having, you know, Birkenstock shoes, monogrammed items, having canvases, having those letters, having the typical like bar necklaces, like all those things that typical sorority girls have. You'll get to have those too. One of the #1 things that I gained from being in a sorority is t-shirts. So before, like I said, it was part of my wardrobe or aesthetic that you're gonna be gaining. That's like your everyday thing, but you are gonna gain so many t-shirts from being in a sorority simply because you're gonna get a bid day shirt, you're gonna get these philanthropy shirts, you're gonna get t-shirts from your big and little, you're gonna get t-shirts for literally everything that you do. You can also just buy t-shirts off Etsy or off Amazon or off Facebook, little swap groups that we're a part of. There's so many t-shirts that you gain. So I know how I just mentioned that your Instagram game, your social media game is gonna go through the roof, and that is no joke. I know that before I would always take these weird like cringy selfies and just post them on my Instagram. Now I don't post any selfies because you have girls that always take pictures of you, and also you have girls that you can take pictures with to post on your Instagrams or other social medias. You're also gonna have those stereotypical cute punny captions with all of your pictures. You can't just post a picture and be like, had a great day. It's gonna be something funny. It's gonna be that traditional sorority caption and picture, and honestly I like it. I'm not opposed to it. One of the things that I can say helped me being in a sorority, and I'm sure with a lot of other people, it's definitely a huge confidence and self-esteem booster because you're surrounded by so many women who want to see you succeed, and you're with a whole group of sisters who just love you and want to hang out with you and do things with you, and you're a part of this community, a small community, a part of a bigger community, which is Greek life in general. You finally get to call something your home and call something yours and relate to that, associate yourself with that, and it's just something that I really cherish, and it was such a huge confidence booster because as soon as I walked into the house, I knew that people were like, hey Marissa, like even if they really didn't know me. And when I gained all of those followers of my sisters and they would comment on my pictures like, ah, you look hot, like, oh my goodness, the fire emojis, just random stuff like that that you post underneath your friends' pictures. Like, those are little confidence boosters for me, and that was also just a great thing. And you really have friends there to support you, which is also a huge confidence and self-esteem booster. All in all, it just really upped myself in a way that I didn't think a sorority would. Unfortunately, this is something that you gain from being in a sorority, but it's not really a good thing, and you're going to be gaining a lot of expenses because a sorority is expensive. So you're spending a lot of money to be in a sorority, unfortunately. Different sororities are different, and depending on what school you're at, it's definitely different, but also just in general, being in a sorority is expensive. Your new member fees are really expensive. To buy all the t-shirts, some of them you get, but some of them you have to buy new outfits for recruitment, to buy dresses for formal and date party, just to stay like up with the trends in terms of like you're wanting to gain these new outfits and wardrobe things that I mentioned at the beginning. It's expensive. You're around a new culture almost, which can be really expensive, unfortunately. That isn't really fun, but it's worth it, I promise. I want to be realistic with y'all, which is why I'm telling you some of the good things and the bad things. So this next one is another kind of bad thing, but with being in a sorority, you are going to get some drama, and that's even like within your sorority, but also outside of your sorority with other Greek life, unfortunately. It doesn't have to happen where you're at, it doesn't have to happen with your sorority. I'm just speaking in general terms. When you get any amount of girls together, there's going to be drama because there's girls. It could be something as stupid as this girl has the same book bag as me, or it can be something as big as this girl lied to me and this girl was mean to me and she said something behind my back about me. It could go either way, but unfortunately there is going to be stuff that's going to happen, and it's not all peaches and cream all the time because you're having 70, 80, even 150 girls in one area. There's bound to something happen. Something's going to happen when you get that many girls together. And also just in general, unfortunately with the culture of sororities, and it's kind of a mini popularity contest, unfortunately, you are going to get some drama between sororities. I know that on my campus it's a big thing with sororities thinking other things about other sororities, or even fraternities thinking stuff about different sororities based on their looks or based on their numbers or based on things that really don't matter. Instead of like what we're actually doing as a sorority, we're fighting that stereotype and fighting those stigmas every day by being wonderful sorority women. Now this one could be good or bad depending on who you are and what you want, but you are going to gain boys, or like frat boys in general. Typically you do have to do things with fraternities and other sororities, so you're going to meet other boys, you're going to meet boys in general, you're going to meet other girls, other sorority girls, you're going to be doing socials with them, you're going to be hosting parties with them, you're going to be asking them to be your dates, to formal and to date party, semi-formal, all those things. They're going to be there, they're going to be everywhere. So whether or not you're looking for a relationship, or you're looking for like a hookup, or you're looking for a friends with benefits, or you're looking for friends, there's going to be boys everywhere. Most of them, especially when you're younger, freshman and sophomore fraternity boys don't have the greatest reputation, but neither do sorority women, unfortunately. So you just kind of have to play it by ear, and some of them may be good and some of them may be bad, but you are going to gain that experience, I'll just say. Sororities are very expensive, but they're also very busy. So you're going to be gaining a full plate. You're going to be having time commitments out the butt, okay? So you're going to be doing things all the time, at least 2 to 3 events every week. Some of them may not be mandatory or whatever, but you're at least going to have 2 or 3 sorority things going on each week, and that can feel very overwhelming for you, but you are going to be gaining just things to do, and some of them might not be things that you want to do, but sometimes you got to do them anyways. So I kind of already mentioned with the whole drama and frat boys thing, but you are going to be gaining kind of a stigma about you as being a sorority girl. Not with everybody, of course, because people get it, but people who don't really get it, you're going to be getting that stigma and those stereotypes attached to you by being in a sorority. So you might get that, or everybody looks the same, or you pay for your friends, or that you're a slut, or you're a frat rat, or you're stupid, or all these things that are very stereotypical and obviously not true, just kind of thought about you or just in the air about you. Of course, there may be some girls in a sorority that don't have a 4.0 GPA, but that doesn't mean that we're all stupid. That's literally the biggest myth ever, because we have to hold a certain GPA even to get into the sorority and to stay in the sorority. We host study tables, we have, you know, VP of scholarship that makes sure everybody's good on their grades, we have VP of academic, VP of education. That's just like a huge myth in and of itself, and you don't have to do anything that sorority girls do. You don't have to drink to be in a sorority. You don't have to hang out with frat boys to be in a sorority. One of the fun things that you're going to gain is definitely just those socials that I mentioned. So you're going to be going to parties, you're going to be going to TGs, you're going to be going to socials, you're going to be going to pre-games, you're going to be going to date party, formal, semi-formal, all these things, and they're a lot of fun, especially if you have them with your sorority. But then also if you do go with like a frat guy somewhere else to their fraternity stuff, their stuff is super fun too, and you just get to mingle and hang out with other Greek life. But again, you're not pressured to do anything. You don't have to drink, you don't have to do drugs, you don't have to have sex, you don't have to do these things to be in a sorority. And if you do, don't be a part of that sorority. Hazing and bullying is not okay, and if there's a sorority or any kind of group or organization asking you to do anything that you don't feel comfortable doing, don't do it, and you don't need them, period. Some people join a sorority for sisterhood like me, or some people join it for service, so they want to do those philanthropy events all the time. So that is something that you're going to be gaining. You're going to be working for a specific philanthropy depending on what sorority you're in. You're going to be hosting events and doing fundraisers and all of these things for your philanthropy, and that can be fun for some people. I think it's super fun because it's kind of like a mini social with all of your sisters, and then you're just also raising money for your philanthropy, and that's awesome. Like I mentioned before with the myths on how especially that sorority girls are stupid, you are going to gain like an academic boost. I'm not saying you're going to go from like a 2.0 to a 4.0, but because they hold you to a higher standard, you're forced to do more, and that just increases your GPA or increases your academic drive, all of those things. You're gonna gain so many leadership opportunities because of being like on the exec board, leadership council, cabinet positions. I've held so many leadership positions since I've been in the sorority, and I've only been in for like a year and a half now. I think I'm going on my second year here, and that's just because I want to be super involved and I love having those leadership positions. So that's something that you can gain. You don't have to run for leadership positions if that's not your thing, but if you are looking for that, this is definitely the place that you can get that really easily. Networking within the Greek life is one of the biggest things that you can gain from being in a sorority because it's so amazing. Even just when you think about it, within your own sorority, you're networking so much with all of your sorority sisters, but then also the advisors that advise your chapter. They're older women who are alumni, and you can network with them, but then you can also network with the other sororities on campus within PHA. You can network within all the fraternities that you know, and just getting to know those students, but then also getting to know their contacts and their parents maybe and their aunts and uncles. In the beginning, I wanted to be a lawyer when I came into my sorority, and I want to go to law school. There's about 30 girls here that know lawyers or some type of lawyer that I could be shadowing or asking questions to, and that's something that I didn't have before. So there's just the opportunity to network and to meet people and to learn new things coming from a sorority is so big, and it's been so helpful and something that I didn't think that I was going to get from a sorority, but that I did. Now, if you're not into arts and crafts, maybe a sorority is not for you because you're going to gain so many canvases, you're going to gain so many letters, you're going to gain so many paddles, you're going to be gaining so many little arts and crafts things that you do just as sisterhoods or as painting and doing stuff for your big and little. All of that kind of stuff is like, we're just very artsy, and being the sorority, it's fun. I like it. I think it's calming. I'm not like a good artist or anything. My canvases are not on point, but I still make them and I have fun doing them. The last point that I wanted to touch on is again one of the main reasons why I joined my sorority, and that is for sisterhood, those friendships, those support systems, your girl gang, your best friend, and those people that you can really count on. That is the greatest thing that I've gained from being in my sorority. I don't want to change that for anything. The people that I've met through my sorority have really changed my life, again with like my best friends and my girl gang, but also even just with people outside of my sorority that I've met through the sorority. I don't know where I would be even just without meeting those people for this short amount of time. If you're watching this video and you're a part of a sorority yourself, please comment down below anything else that you've gained from your sorority that you know that other people might want to gain as well. Of course, this is not an exhaustive list. These are just quick little bullet points that I've thought of why it's been awesome, funny, not so great about being in a sorority and what you gain from being in a sorority. I hope that helps a little bit with your understanding of what a sorority is, what it brings to you, what it can provide for you, and maybe helps you kind of decide if you're going to go through recruitment or who you're going to kind of start rushing when you're going through recruitment. Like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, if you have any questions about sororities in general or anything about what I mentioned today, comment them down below because I'll answer them in next week's video. Because today we talked about what you gain from a sorority, but next week I'm going to talk about which sorority is really the best for you and how to decide which sorority you should be rushing or which sorority you should call home. So we're going to get a little deeper into that. So if you have any questions along that as well, also comment that below because I'll be sure to answer them in next week's video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.